My family gave my college fund to my sister because she has more potential. I paid my own way. Now I'm a partner at my firm. She's asking me for money. Potential doesn't pay rent. My parents always said they believed in investing where it mattered most. I just never realized they meant my sister. When I was 17, I got accepted into a good state university. It wasn't an Ivy League school, but it had a respected business program, and I'd worked hard to earn my place. I kept my grades up, played baseball through high school, worked weekends at a grocery store, and spent every summer landscaping to save money. I always assumed my college fund would cover whatever my scholarships didn't. Instead, my parents sat me down one Sunday afternoon at the kitchen table. Mom wouldn't look at me. Dad folded his hands. There isn't a college fund anymore. I laughed because I honestly thought he was joking. What do you mean? Mom quietly said we had to make a decision. Dad cleared his throat before saying the 4 words that changed everything. Megan has more potential. That was it. My sister had been accepted into an expensive private university across the country. Tuition, housing, meal plans, and fees would cost almost 3 times what my school did. My parents decided she would benefit more from the money they'd saved for both of us. They emptied my college fund and gave every dollar to Megan. I asked what I was supposed to do. Dad simply shrugged. You'll figure it out. Mom tried to soften it. You're practical. Megan has bigger dreams. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just went upstairs, opened my laptop, and started applying for student loans. That conversation changed my life. I worked 30 hours every week during college. Some semesters it was closer to 40. I skipped every spring break. I drove the same rusty pickup until it finally quit. By graduation, I owed just over $82,000 in student loans. My parents attended the ceremony. Dad shook my hand. Mom hugged me. Megan wasn't there because she was studying abroad. My parents spent the drive home talking about her trip instead of my graduation. After college, I joined a small accounting firm. The pay wasn't great. The hours were long, but I kept showing up. While friends bought new cars and took vacations, I paid every extra dollar toward my loans. When everyone else left at 5, I stayed until 7. I volunteered for difficult clients and complicated projects. Eventually, I became a manager. A few years later, one of the partners retired. The remaining partners offered me the chance to buy into the firm. It took every dollar I had saved, plus another loan, but I accepted. I became one of the youngest partners in the firm's history. Nobody handed me that position. I earned every bit of it. Meanwhile, Megan bounced between careers: marketing, photography, graduate school, consulting. Every Thanksgiving, my parents insisted she simply needed the right opportunity. I stopped arguing years earlier. Then one Saturday she called. We only talked a couple of times each year. She asked if we could meet for coffee. She looked exhausted. After a few minutes, she finally admitted why. I need help. She and her husband had fallen behind on rent. Their credit cards were maxed out. Medical bills kept piling up. Student loans were still hanging over them. I was hoping you could loan us $60,000. She asked so casually it almost sounded normal. I asked about their income, their monthly expenses, their debt. She didn't have the numbers. She simply expected me to say yes because we were family. I'll think about it, I replied. That evening, Mom called. Dad texted the next morning. Both reminded me that family should always help family. I actually laughed. When I needed help, they told me to figure it out. For the next 2 weeks, they kept calling. Finally, I invited everyone to dinner. Halfway through the meal, I slid a folder across the table. Megan opened it. Inside was a professionally prepared loan agreement. Interest, monthly payments, automatic withdrawals, collateral. If payments stopped for 90 days, I could legally place liens against certain assets. Exactly the same terms our firm required for loans that size. Dad frowned. What is this? A loan agreement. Mom looked shocked. You'd make your own sister sign that? I looked at all of them. You taught me investments should go where the potential is. Nobody answered. You believed Megan was the better investment. Silence. I wasn't. Still nothing. I was told to figure it out. Megan quietly closed the folder. I can't sign this. I understand. Dad finally spoke. So you're refusing to help? I shook my head. No. I'm offering the same professional terms I'd offer anyone asking to borrow $60,000. Dinner ended a few minutes later. Nobody hugged goodbye. A week later, I heard my parents had refinanced their house to help Megan. Apparently, banks wanted paperwork too. Months later, Dad called my office. Not to apologize. He wanted tax advice. I quoted our consultation fee. He thought I was joking. I wasn't. He paid the invoice. Every bill after that was paid on time. Funny how quickly people respect your work when they're the ones writing the checks. My student loans are gone. The firm continues to grow. Sometimes relatives say I was lucky. I never correct them. Potential didn't pay my tuition. It didn't pay my rent. And it definitely didn't make partner.